Hello. I'm a devastated husband whose wife cheated on his back for months, and I'm pretty sure she would have continued her adulterous affair with her partner if I had not seen her medical bills. Yes, her medical bills revealed to me that she was cheating on me. My wife, let's call her Maria, is a school teacher. She teaches grade 3 and grade 4 and earns quite well. After school, she privately tutors a few kids for several hours weekly. She made really well and never relied on me for her expenses. This was good for me. After covering the household expenses, I saved a significant chunk of my pay for buying a house so we could plan a kid. I work as a senior warehouse manager. The only problem that I had with my job was the night shift, and Maria always complained about it. We often had huge fights about it. She and I could not spend much time together. I left for work at 9 p.m. and came back at 7 in the morning. At 7:30, Maria would leave for school, return at 4 p.m. and again go at 6 for her tuition. So we could only spend a few hours daily, but on the weekend, I made sure to give all my time to her. However, we used to quarrel about how we never got out for dinner or movies like many other couples do. Anyway, I promised her I'd look for another job and then quit my current job. She agreed, but I noticed that she had become distant from me. Maybe she was upset about my job or lost interest in me. I noticed Maria that had almost given up arguing with me or fighting over how we never got out or spent more time together. She had busied herself even more and found other students to tutor every day after school. One of her students struggled in class, and his parents requested Maria coach him. They even agreed to pay a handsome wage to her. Hence, Maria agreed that she would go to his student's house every evening to help him with his homework. The student lived in a posh area. The place was terrific, the kind you see in movies and serials. I know this because I dropped my wife there a few times. Maria had gotten busier than ever. She enjoyed tutoring her new student and came back home very late. Sometimes I would call her from work to ask if she had reached home or dined. She frequently told me that she was still at student's house. As the family had insisted, she stayed for dinner. I did not mind at first, but it had become a ritual. Staying for dinner at your student's house was not right, so I told her she should not stay longer than her agreed hours at their place. But I pressed the wrong buttons, and she again went mad at me for not giving her enough time. I stopped calling her during those hours, so whatever little conversation we used to have was also minimized. One weekend I was home and suggested we go out for a fancy dinner or shopping, but she turned me down. She said she needed to be at her student's place for tuition. I was annoyed and asked her how dumb is her student that he needed to be tutored 6 times a week. She scowled at me, dismissed my concerns, and left. I was seriously concerned about her. I asked her again on Sunday, but she turned me down again and slept the entire day. I told her we should spend time together, but she said she was too tired and needed to sleep to get fresh for the following week. I again agreed, and the same thing happened for a few weeks. I insisted Maria go out, and she said she needed to tutor her students or would sleep the entire day. I knew something was wrong, but I could not put my finger on it. On Saturday, I decided to surprise her by picking her up from her student's house and then would take her to her favorite restaurant. I was in a beautiful mood, but when I reached the student's place, I was shocked to learn that Maria does not tutor on Saturdays. I felt humiliated in front of the maid that answered the door. She must have wondered what kind of husband I was, who doesn't know where his wife goes. Anyways, I tried calling her, but her phone was switched off. When she came home later that night, I asked her about her day, and she lied to me by saying that her student was progressing and well prepared for exams. I told her that I went to the student's place, and what the maid told me, I could literally see her face turning white, like she had seen a ghost. She was angry with me and demanded, why I had gone there. I told her that I wanted to take her someplace nice. Maria was so mad at me that she wanted to fling something at my face. I asked her whereabouts, and she told me she goes out with her friends every Saturday. I told her that she could have told me the truth and I would not have minded or stopped her from going anywhere. But she said she did not want to go out with me, which is why she lied. I was hurt. Why would my wife not want to go out with me? I asked her about it and she said that it no longer bothers her that we don't spend enough time together. I felt hurt and very angry with her, so I decided to be aloof to her like she was with me. We had literally stopped talking over the phone or when we were together. I would just inform her that I was leaving for work or if I needed anything, but other than that, we did not talk. Our marriage had become stagnant and I hated it. I craved intimacy and often thought of cheating on my wife, but I always resisted that urge. I did not want to be one of those disloyal husbands. But now, I wished I had cheated on her because she was doing the same thing with someone I could not have imagined. Her student's father. Yes, folks. So apparently, my wife was not tutoring her student but spending considerable time with his father. And here's how I got to know it. My wife's job provided her the medical insurance. So she always used her medical allowance to visit the doctors and buy her medicines. But one week I saw her in a miserable condition. I forced her to go to the doctor, but she did not listen to me and said she was feeling lethargic and would be fine if she got some sleep. I was sick and worried for her, but she did not listen. What surprised me even more was that she took 1 week's leave from her job. I could not understand what was wrong with her, and she kept saying that she needed rest. When I insisted, she told me that she had a miscarriage. I was shocked. I did not even know that she was pregnant. She told me that she did not know either and had terrible pain in her abdomen, so she had to go to the doctor. According to the doctor, she was 2 months pregnant. I felt upset that Maria and I had stopped communicating. She did not feel that it was important that I knew about her health condition. I scolded her that she should have informed me, but she remained silent. What I also found weird was that she had no remorse for losing her child. She remained aloof like it was something very ordinary. But I did not say that to her. Maybe it wasn't a big deal for her. Another thing that I started noticing was she was constantly on her phone. I asked her who she was talking to, and she silenced me by saying that she never asked me who I was talking to. So, I should do the same. I knew something was fishy, and my curiosity was growing every day. And finally came an opportunity when I got a chance to learn what was going on with my wife. I decided to take an off from my work and stay home to see what Maria does in my absence. She asked me why did not I leave for work, and I told her that I was tired. She looked clearly upset and even forced me to go to work. Or she could make me coffee, so I felt active, but I did not listen to her and stayed at home. Her disappointment was so evident, but the next thing that I saw was that she picked up her phone, typed a few messages, and even tried calling someone. She looked agitated, as if she was trying to hide something. She received a phone call and went to the kitchen. I did not follow her, so I decided to check her call log when she was asleep. Maria was on her phone, giggling and chatting with her friends. I slept and woke up and saw that she was sound asleep. I picked up her phone, but she had changed her passcode. I tried guessing her password, but it did not work. So I opened her laptop, hoping to find something from it. Maybe it was a lucky day. Her laptop's password was not changed. Plus, she had shut down her computer without closing all the tabs. So when I opened it, all the unclosed tabs were restored. I opened a few tabs and was shocked to learn that Maria had searched for some home remedies for abortion and also looked for the abortion pills. I went crazy. Why would my wife get rid of her pregnancy? But then it struck me that maybe it wasn't my child, so she risked her health to try home remedies for abortion. I then accessed her emails and saw her credit card bills. She had purchased a few medicines and covered her hospital bills. I googled the name of the medication, and it was an abortion pill. I was shocked that Maria aborted her baby and lied to me about the miscarriage. I was furious with her. I woke her up fiercely and confronted her. She was dumbfounded to learn that I had finally known her truth. She started crying and said she was not ready for the baby, so she got rid of the baby without my consent. It took every ounce of my existence not to punch her face. I left the house early the next day. I had decided to follow my wife to see what she was up to. I saw her leaving her student's house at 7 p.m. She did not take an Uber or anything. Instead, she walked to the end of the road and got inside a car. I did not see who was inside it, but my doubts were confirmed that my wife was seeing someone. I followed them in an Uber and saw that the car stopped in front of a pharmacy. The guy stepped out of the car and went inside. He came out a few minutes later and sped towards a hotel. I knew I had seen the guy somewhere, but I could not recall exactly who was he. I kept following them till they parked the car near a hotel. I saw Maria coming out, and the guy kept his hands on her waist as they entered the hotel. My blood was boiling. My own wife was cheating behind my back, and it was confirmed that the only reason she ordered the abortion pill was that she was carrying the illegitimate child of her AP. I went inside the hotel and saw both of them going inside a room. Then it struck me that the guy was none other than the student's father, who Maria used to tutor. It made me sick to my stomach. I had seen the guy smiling at Maria and welcoming her his home when I dropped her off a few times. I could not believe my wife would stoop so low as to start an affair with the student's father. I wanted to avenge myself and teach my wife a lesson for being unfaithful to me. She had begun tutoring her student 5 months ago, so she must have been going on for at least 3 months. I waited in the hotel's lobby to catch her and was successful in doing so. She was laughing and smiling when she came out of the room, but she felt dizzy as she saw me scolding at her. Her AP was also shocked that I had seen them both together. I exited the hotel and they came behind me. I asked Maria how long this had been going on, and she was quiet. Her partner was also at a loss for words. He said that we should go home and talk in peace, but I have enough of Maria and her infidelity. I went home and waited for her to come home. I asked her why she did this, and she had no guilt or embarrassment. Instead, I was surprised at her audacity to blame me for what she had done. She told me that she no longer wanted to stay with me and wanted a divorce. I did not have any love left for her, so I agreed. But I told her that I would avenge myself and she would pay for it. She ignored me, moved out of my place, and went to live with her sister. I had no evidence against her to take my revenge, so here's what I did. I opened my Facebook, went into Maria's friend list, and found the account of the woman whose husband was cheating on her with Maria. I sent her a message stating that I had seen Maria and her partner leaving a hotel room and had also been having an affair for the past few months. I also suggested in my message that she should complain about Maria to school management about her misconduct in being flirtatious with the student's father. I hit the send button and did not think it would bring anything good, but to my surprise, my plan worked. The wife got Maria's inappropriate pictures on her husband's phone and showed them to school management. Maria is now jobless. The school fired her and did not give her a good recommendation. I know I should not have involved in the AP's wife, but it felt right at the moment. I knew my marriage with Maria would sooner or later be over, but I tried to reignite the spark. But she had already started an affair behind my back and had no desire to work towards saving a marriage. I understand that I could not spend more time with my wife due to my job, but I continued that job because it paid me well and I could manage to save for my own house. I don't think it was fair for Maria to go out and have fun with any guy that gives her attention and forget about her husband.